Welcome to another Legendary Banner analysis. For everybody that's new, we look at the units presented to us and we determine roughly what I think of the banner and whether you should be targeting specific units and colors. So, if you guys watched my Legendary Banner predictions, you'll know that I've hit 7 out of 12 out of this, which is the same as my predictions from 2 banners ago. I'd say it's okay. They seem to always double up on seasonals, so we'll definitely improve our predictions going forward. Let's get started.
All I must do is fight in a manner befitting the way of the sword.
We have good old Ryoma here. Now, this is definitely not something I predicted. They decided that they did indeed want to change up the pattern just a bit because I thought they would keep it to just protagonists and antagonists. Ryoma is not a protagonist, neither is he an antagonist. Not like a true final boss, but yeah, he is an important character in the game, so I guess that kind of makes sense. I like the water blessing touch. They really live up to the whole Lobster thing. He's a promoted unit. If you've ever played like Warriors, it's kind of like a similar costume to that. He has like the apparel that's all king-like, so that's cool. Sword Fire is actually not a very saturated category, especially not with what we're about to see, which is this encounter. He's water and he has earth. So overall, like, other than him being a flyer sword, there's not that much appeal here. Although Matt Mercer, definitely Matt Mercer. Alright, so, as expected, he has Raijintu. One thing first of all to consider is that distant counter weapons may eventually get refined. They may get bonuses, so if regular Ryoma gets an additional bonus to his Raijintu, we can expect that this version of Ryoma may also get a bonus to his Raijintu. So that's pretty good. Don't sleep on it totally. Since he comes with Raijintu, there's a good possibility that it could get an additional refinement. Glimmers, whatever. It's not really like the best thing here. I'd probably switch that out for sure. Moonbow, Luna, and Aether are definitely going to be much better here, and we'll get to the reasoning on that why. Kestrel Stance is just new. It's a new skill. It's a new stance skill. We didn't have attack speed when enemies attack you, which is actually not too bad considering he's... with this encounter users, they generally tend to be enemy phase based, so I feel like because he has that distant counter, he'll be pretty enemy phase based, and Kestrel Stance will be good as a budget skill. Whether you're pulling him to fodder him, I don't think that's generally a good idea. So here's where the big debates and debacles come from, okay? Bushido adds 10 damage to your special. And I've seen so many people already say like, oh my god, that sucks. It's like weaker than Wrath. Okay, here's a couple things to say about it. First of all, Bushido here gives 10 damage regardless of health conditions, first of all. Okay, so Wrath, you need to be under 75% health to get that extra damage. Yes, Wrath does reduce the cooldown charge, but you'd have to be hitting like a hit and run playstyle where you take some damage, then run away until your specials charge, and then also be benefiting from that extra damage while in a danger zone. Okay, but Bushido, you could use things like Noontime or Soul in over 75% health and still benefit from the extra damage and healing. The other thing to consider also is that Wrath cannot be used on any flyers. So Bushido is exclusive. This Ryoma is the only version of a flyer that can use additional damage specials on his B slot. So that's definitely not like Omega Lull. Like that's not Omega Lull. That's actually pretty good if you think about it. Give him like Moonbow, Luna, Aether, give him like a heavy blade seal, and he's going to be breaking the weapon triangle. For those of you that are arena enthusiasts, since Bushido is most likely a 300 SP skill, you could give him 300 SP distant counter in the A slot and change Raijintu to like Wodao, and you're still maxing your arena score points, and you still have distant counter, of course, and you're going to be breaking the weapon triangle like crazy because combining the Wodao effect and Bushido gives you plus 20 true damage. So of course you'd use like Luna, cut someone's defense by 50%. On Effie, you could be doing, 30-40 damage with Ryoma breaking the weapon triangle. I definitely do not think he's going to be bad. Okay, so, this is not the worst thing that's come. Comparatively speaking, when you look at red sword flyers, you have Sheeta, which isn't bad. You have Pala, which isn't bad. You have Valencia, which isn't bad. They all have their niche. They don't really have anyone that's been like the best at distant counter usage. I think if you wanted to think about it, the best distant counter users out of that was like Sheeta for res, and maybe Pala for mixed bulk, and then you'd have NY Camilla probably for defensive usage. So they have like they're all kind of different there, but no one has been kind of like as strong as this. So guidance, this is, it's welcome. There's not actually anyone else other than Tana who has guidance in the C slot. So the fact that he comes with it, it's already a max SP skill and it's going to help out your team a lot. I think until we see the stats, I don't think Ryoma's as bad as most people say he is. He's probably still going to be better than Fjorm, okay? Okay, so here, anyone that's done like the mathematics of a level 40 Xander, it appears that because he does 13 damage here, that he seems to have around maybe 34 attack. I think that's what's been considered already. If it's similar to his infantry version, he probably has about 35 speed. So that's kind of like the 35 plus. He's going to be fast, he's going to be strong. Like, that's just Ryoma as he is, and he's probably not going to have like the highest res and defense stats. So let's see how that turns out. But offensively speaking, he's going to be pretty good as a red flyer. He's going to be definitely matching like Alincia when it comes to offensive prowess, and he'll have, probably better BST than Alincia did because she came out before BST was enhanced on most units. So he could actually be stronger than Alincia. Just the difference will be that she has a unique weapon and he has more of a distant counter advantage there. Of course, he could be running Bushido, which is huge. Like a Brave Sword Bushido with Luna is going to do more damage than Alincia did. Okay, so that's a new breath, but we know that because the update notes said that Young Tiki and Adult Tiki are getting a new breath. Some people are saying this is going to be Dragon Effectiveness from the original games. I'd like to point out that Young Tiki coming on a Legendary Banner is very odd to me because they're going to have a new power banner on the 6th, June 10th. So I feel like Young Tiki is also showing up on that banner, and this seems like a big waste of orbs if anyone's targeting Young Tiki here. She also comes with absolutely no good fodder. You have like Armored Blow and Breath of Life and Flame Tongue, and Flame Tongue's like a silver weapon for dragons. Like, that's so bad when you could be using Light Breath, Dark Breath, Lightning Breath. There's so many better options. I guess like they're trying to appeal to the fact that she's getting a refined weapon, or maybe they just needed to put a dragon in somewhere. I don't know. This is not so good. Innes is okay. He's definitely one of the better archers. He's got good offensive stats, he can work as a mage tank, and he's got a very unique bow, which we can also expect to receive a refinement at some point. So definitely a good colorless option. If for fodder, you have Fortress Res and Cancel Affinity, which are both very niche, but I don't... like, multiple copies of him aren't going to be like the greatest thing. This is really weird. I wasn't expecting to see him so quickly. This is the second time they've done a repeat other than colorless and brave units. I think this must just be a popularity thing, because the only thing he comes with is Speed Smoke and Close Defense, which are very good skills, but they're not like must-haves. Now that Speed Smoke is a seal and Close Defense isn't really used on so many units as such a great A skill, especially with Brazen Attack Defense also coming out, it's like, again, red for this banner already is going to be not the greatest. Well, we'll talk about it in a bit. Fjorm coming back, Winter Crown, Winter Robin. You have your Winter Seasonals. There's Gunther coming back. There's New York Azura, NY Takumi, Harden, and Evrima. So, if you guys watched my Legendary Banner predictions, you'll know that I've hit 7 out of 12 out of this, which is the same as my predictions from 2 banners ago. I'd say it's okay. I could do better. I know there's a lot of things that have changed now going forward for my predictions. They seem to always double up on seasonals, so I can go forward with confidence saying that, yeah, they're going to have like 2 greens or 2 reds or 2 blues or something every single Legendary Banner, because that hasn't changed since the beginning. So we'll definitely improve our predictions going forward. I did predict the blues, and I'm actually quite upset about that. I didn't want Harden, Fjorm, and Winter Robin showing up here, but that is actually very good. If you play this game at all competitively, you'll know that that is very good to summon on if you are chasing arenas, arena assault rankings. During water season, you get your merges on your water season Fjorm, and you're going to be scoring really well. Harden is the highest unit to potentially score out of an individual, and Winter Robin also reaches 175 BST, which means that he scores really well as well. The only difference is he scores a little bit less than Harden because he doesn't have that legendary weapon. So that's insane. Summon Blue is a high must priority for you if you are indeed competitive, and even if you're not and not chasing arenas strictly, you're going to want to probably summon on blue anyways for Bold Fighter and Brazen Attack Speed and Armor March and Tandem Boom. There's so much good out of blue in terms of fodder and you like raising your score that you're gonna want this sort of stuff. Red is the skip of this banner. Red is definitely the skip. There is not so much good out of that. Young Tiki, this is going to be like a disappointment to pull. I think they've done this on purpose though. I've noticed that like the Legendary Hero comes out and they just put like 2 average or below average units sharing it with the Legendary Hero, and that's like disappointing. So my free-to-play account, which has over 1,000 orbs, is definitely going to be summoning on blue here because it plays competitively, and I recommend that for anyone that wants to play the game competitively. Green is also really good. You got Winter Crom, Gunthra, and NY Azura. So most dancers I've never really recommended that you pull multiple copies of, but NY Azura comes with Hone Flyers and Haigoita, which are both very good fodder options. Like Haigoita is very good for creating like defensive team comps, enemy phase units where you buff up a bunch of units. Hone Flyers, as you know, is a very lucrative skill. It's not available at 4-star. You'd have to pull like Hanoka or Halloweenoe or NY Azura, right? So none of those options are very realistically possible to pull a lot of. Of course, you might end up with a couple extra Hanokas, but that's pretty much it. Winter Crom, again, he's probably now a little bit underwhelming because Brazen Attack Defense is in the 4-star pool, but as a sole unit, he's quite good, especially if you need to check for something or in an armor team. He's one of the best greens, and he also has Sack of Gifts, which again is a very good weapon, similar to Tandem Boom from Winter Robin. So green and blue, definitely the winners on this banner, and there's not going to be that many disappointments. Gunthra, as you know, merges on Legendary Hero, increasing your arena score. Finally, we have colorless, and I think it's second to red in terms of not being that great, and that's only because Innis doesn't really provide that much in terms of like merges or fodder. Like, he's a good unit and all, but we're gonna really hope that he gets like a refinement for him to really be improved. So my main account, which has over 600 orbs, is gonna be pulling colorless, but not specifically because I care about Innis too much. I'm gonna take that risk because I feel like NY Takumi and F Grima are both very good to pull multiple copies of, and I do want a lot of other units in the colorless pool that I'm really targeting. There's going to be a big project that I'm going to make in the colorless pool, so I'm definitely going to be going for colorless there, and definitely going for green on the main account, but the free-to-play account totally going for blue, and I definitely want you guys to check that out because we can really understand how badly variants could alter, and I've done a lot of simulations here to hope that we can hopefully get over like a +5, +6, or +7 Fjorm already on the free-to-play account, maybe a highly merged Winter Robin or Harden, and you know, these things are all very good goals to strive for. Now, a very important thing to consider is that if you're not over 200 orbs, even over 250 orbs, I don't recommend sniping on legendary banners. I say this all the time. Usually the 90th percentile people is 1 in 10 people do not get a specific unit they target in these banners. So be very careful targeting specific units. You see something like the Ryoma here and you're like, oh my god, new legendary hero, I gotta get it. Okay, but if you don't have the amount of orbs saved up to go for it, like, you're probably not gonna get it, and you're gonna be very disappointed once you see young Tiki or Zygarde there, right? So, you know, be very careful. Make sure you have the right amount of orbs targeting specific units. Make sure if you're happy with all colors, then you go for it. And the last thing I want to touch on is this. So this banner lasts until the 6th of June, and the new heroes come out on the 8th. Okay, so if we get an announcement for a Fed channel, that could possibly be for Choose Your Legends 2. Now, that would have to happen like within a day or two, so we'll know. But probably the day after the first day of the Legendary Hero banner being, you know, released, because people usually pull day one. So if you have any doubts that you're saving orbs or anything that isn't here, even though some of this stuff is really good, then I recommend just waiting a few days to see, like, are you going to be entranced by possibly new heroes? Or even waiting for the final day itself. There is a good possibility that the trailer will show up just as this banner is ending, so you can make an educated decision between this and that. Don't forget that the bridals are still running. Don't forget that Azelgius' banner is still running, and the best decision you can make as a player is to look at all your options and then choose what appeals to you the most and what your goals are in the game. Okay, guys? So I hope that helped someone out there, and I look forward to the next video. Leave your discussions, comments, what you plan to do down below, and I'll see you guys in class, all right? Peace out.